Elder Abram H. Cannon addressed the conference. Following is a synopsis of his remarks. My brethren and sisters, I have certainly felt greatly to rejoice this morning in listening to the testimony of an apostle of the Lord, and I could not help but think while he was speaking that the testimony which he bore concerning the great gospel plan of redemption would startle many of the professed ministers of the gospel. Could they but hear it and realize in a full measure what God has revealed in these last days, they could not help but acknowledge, if they were earnest, that if Joseph Smith received this knowledge or had promulgated this doctrine, the knowledge must have come from God, because it is beyond the power of man to prepare such a beautiful structure as that which has been partially explained to us this day. It is a plan which is destined to bring salvation unto all who have lived upon the earth, who live now or who will yet come to this sphere. No wonder then that we are called a peculiar people, and that we have become distinct among the nations of the earth, when such doctrines as these are accepted and believed in by us as a people. God has said that he would make of us a peculiar and distinct people, and he has done so. We have doubtless been astonished at the effect the preaching of the gospel had upon us, and upon those whom we lived amongst. While they, or our kindred, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our children, could not see the beauties of the gospel, there was within our hearts a burning and unrest which we could not overcome until we had accepted of the doctrine and obeyed the ordinances of the gospel. Immediately upon its reception we became distinct from those surrounding us. We were singled out, and frequently our nearest and dearest friends became our bitterest enemies. It seemed that there was no indignities too great to be heaped upon those who received this gospel, that heard the word of God. No matter what our lineage may have been, when we joined the church, our best friends turned against us. All rights were taken from us. We were considered unworthy to receive the privileges enjoyed by human beings. This is one of the characteristics attending the acceptance of the gospel of the Son of God. Jesus says, "If ye were of the world would love you. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hate you." This is also in fulfillment of the sayings of the Apostle Paul, wherein he says, "Ye who walk godly in Jesus shall suffer persecution." Not only is that fact true with regard to individuals, but it is also exemplified in the community as a whole. If we remain Latter-day Saints, we are a distinct people. We are separated from the world by a chasm which we cannot bridge. One great cause of alarm today in the midst of this people is the fact that we are becoming more like the world. We are uniting with them. I believe it a truth, and give it as my individual opinion that we cannot, my brethren and sisters, become as the world without losing the Spirit of God, or else without lifting them up to the plane upon which we stand. There are other evil phases that we see today in our midst and which confront us. One of them now comes to mind. It is the associations which are going on among our young people, and which threaten us with disaster. There is not the fear and love for God among our young people that we saw a few years since, nor that respect for the ordinances of his gospel. There was a law given to ancient Israel which says, "Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters shalt thou not give unto their sons, nor their daughters shalt thou sons take unto thy sons. For they will turn thy sons and thy daughters from thee, and they will bow down and worship images and become idolaters." This is the law given to ancient Israel, together with all others given to Moses, and it has been repeated to the Israel of the latter days. For we are the offspring of Abraham and of Jacob, and we are the inheritors of the blessings as well as the curses which were pronounced upon Israel according to their obedience or disobedience to the law of God. This law is binding upon us today and is essential. We find today that our young people, many of them born and reared in the church, and who are heirs of the covenant and priesthood, are not receiving these blessings from God which are to be obtained in the house of the Lord. Marriages are taking place with those not of our faith. And I tell you, brethren and sisters, it is my belief that if this thing continues, destruction will attend the people of God. Watch the course that these young people pursue, and you will find trouble and ruin will follow them. You remember the case of Samson, a mighty man before God, but when he took to himself a wife of the Philistines, his power was lost, and he was made to suffer. Solomon, the great king, and the wisest man perhaps that ever lived, took unto himself wives from another nation, those not of his faith. and they turned his heart away from God, and he became an idolater. This is one of the evils of the present day, and another was mentioned yesterday. Fashion and vanity are growing up in the midst of the people, and drawing more away from the church than all the trouble and persecution that was ever heaped upon it. There is a great deal of social distinction among the Latter-day Saints. The hearts of many are going out after the mammon of unrighteousness. We are looking upon the God of the earth. We are not listening to the words of inspiration and the counsels of the servants of God as we should do. How was it in the days of trouble and trial when the people were driven from their homes in Nauvoo? They were anxiously seeking for counsel. They were ready to make any sacrifice. But do we ask for counsel regarding the selling of our lands? If we do we carry it out? After we came to these valleys, an army came upon us to destroy us. President Young's was the voice of God to us. We hearkened to his counsels. He advised us to leave our homes and go where we knew not, and we were ready to carry out the command of God given to us through his servant. We were ready then to receive instruction and counsel, and had no need to be urged to follow the servants of God. But a day of prosperity has dawned upon us. Who seeks for counsel, or asks an apostle of the Lord what to do with his or her property when they are offered an enormous price for it? Do they go and ask for counsel if they are going to sell? If they do, and receive counsel not to sell, do they follow it? No. In short, in such matters, in financial affairs, we consider ourselves quite equal with the Lord himself. God speaks to these persons whom we sustain as apostles, seers, and revelators to the church, and it is my feeling, brethren and sisters, that we come down to the deepest humility, and be willing to seek for and follow counsel. We should say in our hearts, as also with our lips, Search me, O God, for if I am not pure, then purify me. Cleanse me from every impurity. We will be scourged, we will be whipped, we will be driven, hunted, and harassed, until we comprehend what the Lord requires of us, and learn obedience to his laws. And you young people, you young Latter-day Saints, improve the opportunities that are given you. You have glorious promises, but they will only be realized through faithfulness on your part. I urge you by all the power I possess to look to these men who stand at the head of this church, those who have fought so nobly to maintain this cause. Look to their actions, and follow in their footsteps, for they soon will pass away. Men, however great they may be today, whatever position they may occupy, if they sin, they will not be acknowledged of the Lord. Their sins will be found out. No man can sin, be he an apostle, president of the stake, bishop, high priest, or 70, and not be brought down to humility and destruction unless he repents. And herein, my brethren and sisters, we find the necessity of the spirit of inspiration, which the apostle was speaking about yesterday. Wherein is the strength of the church? It is in the spirit of revelation and in the priesthood of God. Where is this great one-man power that the world prates about? It is the man that is acknowledged of God, and with whom his spirit is. The whole people and priesthood all need the spirit of inspiration, and it is your privilege to know when any counsel is given of God, and not follow blindly any doctrine. If you failed in anything, it is because you have not used your reasoning faculties, and did not approach the Lord and learn of him. The advice of the servants of God is that we correct ourselves, live up to our religion, for it is the privilege of every man and every woman and every child in the church to enjoy revelation from the Lord, but not to receive it for the church of Christ. May peace and rest be in the habitations of the people of God, and may the clouds which are now resting upon them be lifted up to the glory of the Lord and the salvation of his people and the human family.